Welcome back to Shadow in the House. If you're new here, every week I cover real horror stories submitted by this community, home invasions, night shift horror, and today, house sitting. And trust me, this one fits the channel name perfectly. Here's the thing about house sitting that makes it uniquely terrifying. You're not in your own space. You don't know which floorboards creak. You don't know if that sound is normal for this house. You're a stranger, alone, in someone else's life. These 4 stories were sent in by viewers. Names and locations have been changed for privacy. Let's get into it. Sarah, 24, Ohio. Narrate in first person, slow pacing, pause before key reveals. I'd been house sitting for my aunt's neighbours for 2 days. Nice couple. Out of town for a wedding. All I had to do was feed their cat and bring in the mail. On the second night, around 9 p.m, someone knocked on the door. I looked through the peephole and saw a woman, maybe in her 50s, standing there, smiling. She said, "Hi honey, I'm Diane. I live 2 houses down. I just wanted to drop off some cookies for the Hendersons. I didn't realize they were away." She seemed completely normal. I almost opened the door, but something made me pause. I don't know what. I said through the door, "That's so sweet. You can just leave them on the porch. I'll bring them in." She said, "Okay," but she didn't leave. I watched through the peephole. She just stood there, smiling, looking directly at the peephole like she knew exactly where I was standing for almost 2 full minutes. Then she said, very calmly, "Are you sure you don't want to open the door?" I didn't answer. I backed away from the door and called the actual homeowner, the Hendersons, right then. I described her. There was a long pause on the phone. The husband said, "We don't know anyone named Diane, and the house 2 doors down has been empty for 8 months. I called the police. By the time they arrived, she was gone. No cameras caught her leaving. The Hendersons installed a security system the week they got back and never told me why they were so shaken when I described her smile." Pause 2. Seconds for effect before transitioning. That's the kind of story that makes you question every polite knock for the rest of your life. Let's move to story 2, and this one takes place entirely in one room. Marcus, 29, Pennsylvania. I took a house-sitting gig through a family friend, an older couple, big farmhouse way out from town. First rule they gave me, don't go in the basement, the door doesn't lock properly and it makes the dog anxious. Fine, no problem. I don't even like basements. First night was quiet. Second night, around 1 a.m, I heard it, a slow, deliberate knocking. Not urgent, not panicked, just 3 knocks, pause, 3 knocks, coming from the basement door. I told myself it was pipes, old houses settle. I put in headphones and went back to sleep. Third night, same time, same 3 knocks. Except this time, between the knocking, I heard something that sounded like breathing. Slow, deep, right against the door. I texted the homeowner. I said, "Hey, quick question. Is there any chance an animal could be trapped in the basement?" She called me back within a minute, which should have told me something. She said, "No animals down there, just don't open that door. My husband will explain when we're back." That answer made it so much worse than any explanation could have. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the kitchen with every light on until sunrise. The knocking never came during the day, only between 1 and 2 a.m. Every single night I was there. When the owners got back, I asked what was down there. The husband just said, "The house is old. Some houses remember things." He wouldn't say more than that. I never house sat for them again, and honestly, I still think about those 3 knocks every time I hear a pipe settle in my own apartment. If that story got to you, wait for story 3, because this next one has no explanation at all. Multiple people who submitted stories to this channel say something eerily similar happened to them.
Jenna, 31, Arizona. I was house-sitting for a coworker's parents for a full week while they were on a cruise, which meant no cell service for them, no way to reach them. I knew this going in. That detail matters. Day 4, around 11 p.m., I got a text from the homeowner's number. It said, "Don't sleep in the guest room tonight." That's it. No context. I texted back, "Wait, are you back early? Is everything okay?" No response. I called straight to voicemail, which made sense. They were still at sea with no signal. I didn't know what to do with that. I ended up sleeping on the living room couch instead, just to be safe, even though it made no logical sense. How would they even be texting me from international waters? At 2 a.m., I woke up to a loud crash from upstairs. I went up carefully and found that the ceiling fan in the guest room, the room I was told not to sleep in, had fallen, completely fallen, wiring and all, directly onto the bed. If I had been sleeping there, it would have landed right on top of me. When the owners got back a week later, I showed them the text. They said it never came from their phone. Their phone had been sitting in airplane mode in a cruise cabin safe the entire week, verified by ship records when they checked with guest services out of curiosity. Nobody has ever explained who sent that message or how they knew the fan was going to fall. I've told this story a dozen times and I still get chills every time. I still don't have an answer for that one. If you've had something like this happen to you, I want to hear about it in the comments. Seriously. Now our last story is a little different. Less unexplained, more I will never trust silence again. Tyler, 26, North Carolina. I was house-sitting for my manager's family. Nice house, quiet suburb, and a golden retriever named Biscuit, who was, up until that weekend, the calmest dog I had ever met. Second night, Biscuit would not stop barking at the sliding glass door that led to the backyard. Not playful barking, low, continuous, aggressive barking, staring at the glass, hackles up for almost 20 minutes straight. I turned on the backyard light. Nothing there, just the yard, the fence, the tree line behind it. I told Biscuit to stop, pulled the blinds shut, and figured it was a raccoon or a deer. 20 minutes later, Biscuit started again. Except now he'd moved to the front door, doing the exact same thing. Low growl, then that same aggressive bark, staring at the front door like something was standing right on the other side. I checked the front camera on my phone. There was nothing on the live feed. But when I checked the recorded footage from 10 minutes earlier, there was a full 90 seconds of just static. Not the rest of the night, just that one specific window, the exact time Biscuit had started barking. I didn't sleep. Biscuit didn't either. He sat next to me on the couch, alert, until it got light outside. When the owners got home, I told them what happened. The wife went quiet and said, "He's never done that before. Not once. Not in 6 years." I never house sat for them again. And, to this day, I don't know what that camera caught, or why it decided to stop recording for exactly 90 seconds. 4 stories. 4 people who thought house sitting was easy money. If any of these gave you chills, let me know which one in the comments. And if you've had your own house-sitting horror story, submit it using the link in the description. I read every single one. If you're new here, hit subscribe and join the Shadow in the House family. I post a new horror story video every week. And if you're about to house sit for someone this weekend, maybe bring a friend, because you never know what's waiting in the shadows of someone else's house. See you in the next one.